I have to resign.
Call come to order. This meeting is now in session.
Okay, if you'll join me for a moment of prayer. Lord, just thank you for this day. Thank you for your many blessings. Lord, just thank you for each and every person that's here, Lord. Just thank you for safety and travel. Just be with us as a council, Lord, that we are making the best decisions to the best ability for the best of Greene County. Lord, just thank you for all you do. In your son's name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started here. Were there any questions, comments, or corrections on the minutes? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Okay, Brian made the motion. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Ron. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next up, Nicole Mull. Hello.
I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update about the funds that we've received so far from the opioid settlement. I gave you some handouts. The top one is the unrestricted funds. That's the funds that we can use without it being in a certain category. And you can see that we have collected the $40,000, which is on par with what we were anticipating to receive based upon the spreadsheet. And that's our total down at the bottom. And then on the next page, it's yellow on the top, the funds that we received in 2025 is a little bit less, it's $898 than what was anticipated, but they also tell you during the spreadsheet that those are just estimates, they're not necessarily to the T. And then you can see the total amount of funds that we have right now it's quite a bit of money. So I just wanted to give you that information. No. But we do need to, when you're looking at different avenues to spend funds, it's just with the restricted funds or the abatement funds, we're very literally restricted on what we can and cannot use them for. So we are always looking at opportunities. One of the ways in which we plan on spending quite a bit of the money is through our Strengthening Families program as soon as we get a new coordinator. And then we'll be starting that back up hopefully in the springtime.
Okay. Who was the coordinator for that before?
Jeanne did it for many years, and then
Okay.
Carrie in my office took it over, but she's unable to continue. So I believe that Heather is going to take it over, and then Jeanne's going to help her to get her started. There is a training process that you have to go through, and it's been a long time since anyone in the county has been properly trained.
Okay.
So I think we're going to go ahead and pay for the whole shebang, the training, the whole 9 yards. So that way we can get everybody on the same page and everybody knows what they're doing because it's going to be all new staff.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? No, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, next up, Geronimo Power, Worthington Solar, preliminary resolution for creation of economic revitalization area. Hello, good afternoon.
Do you want me to speak and just briefly summarize the request?
Yes, that would be good. Thank you.
So my name is Ben Adamich with Geronimo Power. We're developing a solar project in Greene County called Worthington Solar LLC. It's around the highway intersections of 57 and 67 around Nutrient and that future peaking plant. We are respectfully requesting approval for an economic revitalization area in order to proceed with the next step of negotiating an economic development agreement and tax abatement with the county over the coming months. In order to continue negotiation, we believe that the establishment of the economic revitalization area is required to proceed with. with the negotiation. I'm here to answer any questions, if you have any, on the solar project in general or any specifics of our, at least initially proposed economic development agreement.
Is part of that property already in a TIF district?
I believe it was in a part of a TIF district. In conversations with the property owners, I believe it to be expiring in the next few years, and I don't believe that we're not intending to use the TIF district.
And this will not actually take effect till after that is expired then?
That, I anticipate, yes.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions or comments? What action are we supposed to take today? I think we're supposed to be voting on the preliminary. Are we supposed to be voting on the resolution today, or
Yes, the action today is to vote on the preliminary resolution which establishes the economic revitalization area. That's going to trigger a publication of notice in the newspaper or a public hearing at your next council meeting on, I believe it's December 15th. At that public hearing, you will take comment on the project and on anyone who may wish to speak for or against the project. As a part of that public hearing, then you'll come back into regular meeting and will take action of some kind on a final confirmatory resolution. And that resolution will also spell out the specific terms of the abatement. Also included in that process, the Geronimo principal solar energy attorneys will be sending notice to various entities that are entitled to specific notice in addition to the published notice. So today is simply, do you want to establish the area as an economic revitalization area?
Okay, Ben, could you just briefly, for the record, tell me how this area was established?
Yes, so in 2019 and 2020, we solicited out property owners around what we believed to be appropriate electrical infrastructure to accommodate a large power plant, to lease their land or sell their land for the purpose of solar energy development. And so we initially sent out some letters. We came out, visited with a few folks that own land around the substation, which is next to that Hoosier peaking plant, which was our intended target to inject power into, because there's quite a bit of adequate electric transmission facilities there. And over the course of the next 2 to 3 years, we negotiated agreements to lease or purchase property for the purposes of the development. So mainly what we look for is the appropriateness of the electrical infrastructure, and then also is there enough relatively flat land to place ground-mounted solar panels on in order to, inject power into that transmission location.
So this diagram is basically the outline of the property owners who have agreed?
Yes.
Because I see some of it is omitted in the middle, either they didn't agree or it wasn't agreeable land to put solar on, or...
There are certain areas within our footprint, and kind of the gaps in the map you see are actually in floodplain, and so whether that area floods or not, it's actually in the FEMA floodplain, so we are purposely avoiding developing in that area, putting solar panels in those areas. So it's kind of chopped up, to put it colloquially, because of the floodplain and the wonky boundaries of the zone.
And does the agreement that we're going to vote on today have the boundaries?
That is attached to the preliminary resolution. It will be a part of both my record and the auditor's record for the county.
and give us the layout, basically, the meets and bounds of the whole thing?
When you say meets and bounds, to a real estate attorney, that triggers something different. I don't know that I have legal descriptions for the properties. They are mapped out just as you see them there, and that will be attached to the preliminary resolution.
On the GIS, mapped out on the GIS. So, give or take, it could be a little more, a little less, if somebody's property is not exact on GIS.
The property boundaries are never exact.
Yeah.
It's just not that exact a system. But in terms of the total acreage involved, I'm sure that that is a very precise figure.
Yes. So we are in the actual process of conducting a fieldwork Alta survey on all of the leased tracts. You can actually drive by and see some of the utility markings out in the field in anticipation of that field work coming now. Before we start construction, we will, to the extent we are leasing a portion of an entire property, we will create a separate meets and bounds description, share it with the assessor to show exactly where the line is drawn with respect to the lease area of the solar facility and what I would imagine be existing ag use on the rest of the parcel for the assessor to use for the property tax assessments. Incorporated in that map, our legally described areas will match what the ERA is or be within it.
And the ERA will be where the footprint of the solar is?
Yes, right now it's where our leased boundary is.
Will we have any mix? Like, okay, I'm one of these owners. By record, I am not. This is hypothetical. If I was one of these owners and you put some solar on a piece of property and I decided to go ahead and till it up, put some beans on it, is there a restriction against that? Is there any, because you didn't completely cover the whole ERA, you left some of it out there, can the owners use it for some other purpose? Or is it part of your agreement?
Areas outside of the fenced boundary, let's say we leased a 40-acre tract and we have panels on 30, can they still farm the 10? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yes, they can. Yeah.
That makes it a little bit more difficult, I guess, because that's still agriculture property and property taxed, and this new stuff is something different, correct?
Our understanding is those acres would remain under the capped ag tax rate. The real property in our solar facility would change to the state mandated central 7701 per acre solar real property tax rate. And that distinction of where that line is drawn, the assessor is going to want to know that, so that's why we do that legal description at the end of it, so they can divvy out the different real property tax rates.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And Marvin, does the approval of this resolution, does that mean that we're approving the abatement request, or is that something we have to do separately later?
That is very definitely a later action. That's following a public hearing on December 15th. There will be a separate confirmatory resolution that spells out the proposed details of the abatement. I'm sure at that time there will be more discussion, and you may have more questions and want more discussion also on the economic development agreement that is associated with this, because that is a pretty important, pretty significant aspect of this. If you've read through everything that was sent to you, then I think you know that Worthington Solar LLC is going to be asking for a 10-year, 100% abatement. That is something this council has not done. It started to say not normally done, but my recollection is not done. That said, the economic development agreement does provide for payments at a minimum of what would be 15% of the assessed value of property. And so while it may not match what tax revenue would be, it guarantees revenue to the county on the property. It also guarantees that if the tax structure changes such that 15% is no longer the anticipated personal property tax floor, that those payments could increase, if I remember correctly.
Yes, right now, as a result of SEA 1, the depreciation floor is 0%. And so our proposal is we'll guarantee a minimum of 15% instead of the 0. If the legislature passes anything different than 0, let's say they pass 20, then the 15 is not applicable anymore, and we'll just go with the state. So what we're providing is that, let's say the state passes something below 15 or keeps it at 0, we'll guarantee the 15 essentially, and that'll be prescribed in the agreement that's enforceable.
And the 15% is on the solar rate or the farm rate?
The 15% is on the personal property improvements, and that's a floor. So when we initially construct the project, we won't have we won't have any depreciation on it. So the floor doesn't kick in until years in the future.
Are there any other questions or comments? If not, then I would entertain a motion for the approval of the preliminary resolution for the economic revitalization area.
So moved.
Okay, Karen made the motion. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Randall. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
No.
Okay. So, no by Ron. Yes by Brian, Randall, Karen, and me.
Yes.
Okay.
Glad you had 5.
Approved
It's a
4.
30-year coal miner, and we've been demonized for 15 years, and I just can't get on board with solar or wind energy. That's where I'm at. Nothing against you guys, I like you guys, but yeah, I'm not in.
Take your time.
Okay.
Then I'll note that the motion passes.
Thank you, Ben.
Approved.
Resolution is adopted.
Okay, thank you all. Up next, Greene County Highway Department transfers. Okay. So you're taking 100,000 out of, on ours it just says transfers of funds. It does have a number, but what line item is that coming out of? Cambridge. Okay. So from Cambridge to maintenance.
I don't sign this on the no, do I?
No, you did not. Okay. Any questions or comments on this transfer? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Okay, Ron made the motion to transfer. I need a second.
Second.
I'm sorry, second.
Yep.
Brian. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up, transfer from oil, gas, and lube to other supplies. Are there any questions or comments? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve that transfer.
So moved.
Okay, Randall, I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Karen. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then we have our additional appropriations for final approval. Okay, so the first one up is $50,000 fuel reimbursement from Veterans, EMS, and Health Department. So I would entertain a motion to approve that.
Motion.
Motion by Ron. I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Brian. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up, $30,000 for road culverts That's being payments that have been received. So I would entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Karen, I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Randall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then the next one is bridge inspection for $26,000 for NDOT to reimburse. I would entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Randall, I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Ron. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
It was easy, wasn't it? Yep.
Okay, next up, sheriff additional appropriation, final approval, for 476.49. I would entertain a motion to approve that. That's for final approval.
I'll make it.
Okay, Ron, I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Randall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So now you have up an additional appropriation to advertise.
Correct, that's the surplus vehicle that we just sold. But we put money back into our reparative equipment.
Okay. So 1,800 from sale of vehicle into your repair equipment. Any questions or comments? If not, then I would entertain a motion for that to be advertised. Okay, Karen, I need a second.
Second.
Second by Randall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up, we have sheriff's transfers. Let's see here. The first one, you all should have received this through email from Heather. The first one is from public safety utilities to equipment in the E911.
And I'll speak generically, there's 4 of these, and when I prepared the budget in '24 for year '25, at that time, unbeknownst to us, and then Michael discovered it, the commissioners have been paying our 911 bill, so we had to fix that. So we ran into a shortfall because the proper amount wasn't appropriated. We took Ed and I and Heather to figure out, we think that this started happening 2 sheriffs ago. So that move to fix it, we got it fixed, but we were short funds, hence the transfer. It's fixed for next year, but we weren't counting on spending that money in '25, and it's a pretty big deal. But that's where we come up with 4 of these transfers from 911. The reason we got there on 911.
Okay, so on the first one, for the $14,674, I would entertain a motion to advertise, to transfer.
So moved.
Okay, Randall, I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Brian. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so then the next one is from mobile communications to the E911 in the amount of $67.65. I would entertain a motion to approve that transfer.
So moved.
Randall, I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Karen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Then the next one is in the amount of $16,738 from training to the equipment E911?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Ron. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Randall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then the next one is for $9,800 from dispatchers to the telephone E911. I would entertain a motion for that transfer.
So moved.
Brian, I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Randall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then we have a transfer here from deputies out of the sheriff budget, $4,000 to communications in the sheriff's budget.
So moved.
Okay, Randall made the motion. I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Karen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
This next one you've probably never seen, but this is, revolves around grant money that we got for highway safety. And we had enough money, we asked other agencies to participate under our grant, so Bloomfield, Eastern Greene, some of the other agencies. We just have to move the money from the one fund to another so we can pay those other agencies' officers. It's grant money, they worked overtime to fund traffic safety programs. So that is kind of seeing the word CHIRP. I didn't know if you guys were aware of what it was, but.
And they both say chirp, sheriff, but one's chirp we keep and one's chirp we're paying out, or?
Yeah, and that's really a habit thing. It's got to be moved to the other one so we can pay the other agents.
Right now, it's in the funds balance, and it needs to just be moved to the account line so it can have claims paid against it.
Oh, got it. The 990 is the fund balance and the 15101 is the,
Yes.
gotcha. I make that motion.
Okay,
I'll
Randall.
second it.
Okay, Ron, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then we have one more here, a transfer in the amount of $9,500 from deputies in the sheriff to uniform sheriff.
And that's basically, had to outfit 3 brand-new deputies this year. Cost a lot of money to buy uniforms and body armor, and that's,
Motion.
Okay, Ron made the motion. I need a second, please. Second by Karen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, I think that takes care of all of yours.
one other thing that I required statutorily to give, because it's all on Gateway, I've done it once before, but required to give a report on our pension plan.
Yes.
There's that report
Okay.
for our pension plan.
And all of you should have received this by email, so you could look it over.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
want to make sure I give you a physical copy that
Yes.
meets the statutory requirements. Thank you, council.
Okay,
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, up next, commissioners, additional appropriation to advertise.
Afternoon.
Good
Hello there.
afternoon.
Nathan?
Yeah, we're requesting $6,000 from the Correctional Facilities Fund for a new dryer for the jail.
For dishes or clothes?
Close.
Close.
I'll make a
It's
motion.
been, the other one's been nickel and diming us, so
Yeah, that's what I heard.
it doesn't take very long for that to add up and make a new one very feasible.
All right.
I believe it's actually original to the building, this particular unit, so it's got,
So it's did pretty well.
got some age on it.
Okay. Okay, so Ron made a motion to advertise. I need a second, please.
Second.
Second by Brian. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, we have our council meeting dates for 2026. So I think all of you should have a copy of that there. We went ahead, Heather called me, and so we went ahead and talked about having the August meeting, the 17th, which is the week before the budget hearings, and then our November meeting, comparable to this year, will be November 16th, and then our December meeting, comparable to this year, December 14th. So I would entertain a motion to accept the meeting dates.
Can I have just a minute to
Yeah,
look at the
you
schedule,
can.
please?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't think we run into any problem like with the AIC like we did this year. It's back where it normally is in September.
Looks like we've moved the March one a week later than we had it this year.
Okay.
It was the 24th this year, it's the 30th,
Okay.
unless I'm off on my schedule here.
No. I'm not really sure why. I don't remember what the reasoning was, why we moved.
The June meeting was a week earlier this year. I mean, that puts it a week earlier than this year. This year was the 30th. I know we moved one of them. Heather, do you remember which?
The council meeting in March was the end of March. Was the last Monday of March for 2025.
So the reason they moved June is because the next week is the fourth week.
Yes.
It's 4th of July
That was
week, so-
why we moved this one. The June was so that it wouldn't conflict with the July.
Yeah, but March 31st was the end of the month this year.
And we
Our
did do
meeting
that.
was the 24th, the week before that. Here, you're putting it on the end of the month.
On the 30th.
I don't know, I have in my schedule that we had it on the 31st.
I have it, we have it the 31st.
Must have moved it. That's fine. Okay. I got you. I'm about finished.
Okay.
Thanks for your patience. I'm good.
Okay, so after looking that over, I would entertain a motion to accept the meeting dates.
So moved.
Randall?
Second.
Ron second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up is the salary ordinance.
Can I make a motion to table it for the next meeting?
Yes.
Thank you.
Second.
Second by Brian, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Why we table it?
Yeah, we got a few errors we need to correct.
Okay. Okay, next up, proposed,
I got way good. Who made those motions?
Ron made the motion to table and Brian second,
Okay.
due to some errors. Okay, next up, proposed employee handbook, PTO policy and appendix for the EMS personnel. So have you all had a chance to look at that to approve those? We'll need a motion to Yes, Marvin?
Just wanted to note that I wasn't asking for approval today.
Okay.
What I had hoped to see was some discussion and feedback on the materials sent, and then take final formal action at your December meeting if
Okay.
possible. That would be my preference.
Okay.
So
There are still some things that need to be worked on. There are some things that are still going to be needing added, others that may be considered that may or may not make it. We've had some feedback from the commissioners. Would really love to have feedback from the council.
Okay.
I did notice that there was still longevity in there. And that, and the times on the schedules for the EMS, I believe they have changed those start times.
7 o'clock now.
Yeah,
I just hadn't gotten back to
Change that.
doing that.
Okay. I hadn't got through the rest of it yet, but those are just,
Dave let me know that those were off.
okay,
Either Friday or Monday morning, I don't remember. It's all running together.
absolutely.
Okay, so I guess there's nothing that necessarily needs to be taken care of today.
I think your email said we had until like the 30th, maybe or sometime to give you comment.
It would be really helpful to have your feedback by the 30th. Either stop by the office and see me, send me email, give me a telephone call, whatever's good for you, whatever you prefer. But the reason I've said the 30th is because the Personnel Administration Committee, which is responsible for the drafting of these documents, is going to meet on December, I believe it's 2nd, and consider some of the changes that the commissioners have proposed, take care of some of the other edits that have been mentioned today and have been mentioned to me previously. And so we'd like to be able to incorporate that feedback from you and have it so that I've got a couple of days to digest it and get it out to the back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next up, council appointment to the redevelopment commission. So last month, we ended up tabling this because we did not get a confirmatory vote for both of the people that were nominated. So this is back up for discussion and approval.
That vote was 3-3.
Yes. So, so it's back up for discussion for the appointment.
I'll make the same nomination I made last month for Jake White.
Okay. Karen nominates Jake White.
I nominate Shane Smith.
Okay, Randall nominates Shane Smith. Okay, so we'll first do the one for Jake White. I almost said a different...
Jake White?
Yes, Jake White. So we'll do a roll call vote. How do you vote for Jake, Brian?
No.
Okay. Randall?
No.
Ron?
No.
Karen?
Yes.
And I am a no. Okay, so we'll call for Shane Smith. Brian?
Yes.
Randall?
Yes.
Ron?
Yeah.
Karen?
No.
And I am a yes. Okay, so Shane Smith will be the new appointment to the redevelopment. Okay. Next up, county attorney.
Don't believe I have anything more to add today unless you have questions for me.
Okay. Okay, other business to come before the council. Do we have any other business? One thing I will mention here, Heather did give us where the solid waste district has started making their payments for the, what was that for? A skid steer?
Skid steer.
Skid steer, yeah, so they have made a couple of payments here on that, so we've got notification that they are paying on the loan that they took out. Is there any other?
Update on Jerry.
Pardon?
Do we have any update on Jerry?
I do have an update on Jerry. He is still having health issues. I've talked to Lois, and so she is, there's going to be some talk about him retiring from the council, so.
But nothing definitive yet?
Nothing definitive yet. But that is why he's not here today, is for some health issues.
I hope he's doing all right.
And I guess we don't have anything on record about Brent being gone. We need that in the minutes.
Probably we need to, I guess.
Acknowledging would be appropriate, although
Yes.
as far as records go, it was filed with the clerk, file stamped, et cetera, so
Yes.
whatever you'd like to say.
So, Brent Murray had to resign from the council effective, I think, for November 1st.
Effective October 31st.
October 31st, okay. He took a job with the county, so he cannot have dual jobs through the county. So he did say he wished he could have been here to acknowledge how he enjoyed being on the council and working with us, but it looks like he wasn't able to make it today, so.
We'll get him next year at budget time.
Okay, if there's no other business to come before the council, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
Second by Brian. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.